it is, what it do, and how the hell are all of you? With yours truly, Petra fucker, back with another motherfucker. You already know, the nightcap one, you know what I'm saying? So I got a few articles I'm going to read, just to, push a point across, you know what I'm saying? So, we're going to start off with just a real simple thing. So when I go on this thing called Smart News, gives you all a bunch of articles, you pick your magazines basically, and it chops the articles for you, right? Gives you a whole list of shit. So I went over to the Election 2020 tab, and everything on here, man, is either pissing on the GOP, pissing on Trump, lifting up Biden, or lifting up the Democrats. Not one article that's good based on Republicans or Trump. And all the ones that would be for him are buried. Yeah, Fox News all the way at the fucking bottom. But you got Political USA, Houston Chronicle, Associated Press, NBC News, Newsweek, Washington Times, NBC News, NPR, TMZ, The Hill, USA Today. All these media outlets that literally are biased as fuck, and they literally just keep pushing the same biases. It is what it is. I just thought I'd point it out because I thought it was interesting to see that shit. The original podcast was going to be about me talking about Trump and Chris Wallace. And I thought, there's not a whole lot to that. I think the left is going to say Biden doesn't believe in defunding the police, and the right's going to say Biden does. And I know they're going to say, well, you've seen Trump. Trump couldn't find it where it said anything in the charter about Biden, is for defunding the police. Yeah, he might not have said it, but to me, it's who he keeps around him. He keeps AOC, Ilhan Omar, Bernie, and he keeps taking on these far left ideas and ideologies, and he's just soaking them up and letting them back out a little bit at a time. That's literally what he's doing. So, no, I do not think for a fucking second that Biden doesn't want to defund the police. I believe he wants to defund the police if that's what the left wants to do, and I believe he wants to defund the police if he believes that will get him into office. That is 100% what I believe. Now, we're going to jump right into these articles, because if you don't hear it, man, there's some thunder going on, some lightning going on. This shit's going to be crazy. It's supposed to be having some, real strong winds. The word was de facto, or not de facto, but de facto or some shit. We're supposed to have some crazy fucking storms, basically hurricane force winds right now, and the sky is looking mighty motherfucking dark, you know what I'm saying? But I love me some rain. So let's jump into this shit, and let's just give it up, you know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, I think this shit's gonna be funny. So I seen a headline. I didn't read in the article because it was TMZ, but I seen this article that said black people turned on Nick Cannon after he apologized. Nick Cannon only apologized to Jewish people. He did not apologize to white people for the comments he made, and I don't believe he will. I believe the only reason he actually made the comments apologizing about his comments is because he had to talk to a rabbi. That's the only reason I believe he made the comments he did. I believe Nick Cannon knows exactly what he said, and I believe he believes what he said. 110%. You don't listen to Louis Farrakhan without backing up his ideas. Just like the other day, I seen this meme of Chelsea Manning mocking Ivanka Trump holding a Goya beans, but Chelsea Manning was holding a Rosita beans or something like that, right? Okay, well, Chelsea Manning looked like someone popped her in the back of the head with a fucking frying pan, let's be honest. And her too, another celebrity that was sharing Louis Farrakhan's fucking old videos and shit, not realizing that he's an anti-Semite. So the fact that they're okay with it, it's what he thought. Yeah, no, fuck that. And if you believe in some anti-Semitic shit, you can go fuck yourself. That's all I gotta say. You can go fuck yourself. If you're racist in any sense of the word, you can go fuck yourself. Along with Antifa, because I believe Antifa is one of the most racist groups out there. I believe they're closeted racists, and they want to portray that they're not, because they're afraid that if any of their skeletons get out of their closet, they might actually catch a legitimate ass whooping. That's just my opinion. Now we're going to move on to the articles. So, this I thought was kind of funny. because it's a lefty move. It's a leftist fucking move. You can't say it's not. Minneapolis Park Board will vote to repeal nudity ordinance. So basically, they want to make it so girls can walk around topless in parks. They can already do it on the city streets, but they can't do it in parks. I don't know why. They can do it on the city streets. I'm assuming that has to do with something with Pride Month or whatever, because it does say in the article, which we will read, that it has to do with, come on. I think it's because it's so humid out, my phones are running slow. All right, Minneapolis Park Board will vote to repeal nudity ordinance. On Wednesday, the Park Board will take its first of 3 votes needed to repeal the ordinance, with the final reading and vote set for mid-August. Minneapolis Park's nudity ordinance is turning heads, and you might see some changes. For Janet Borner and Lee Lyon, who are regulars at Lorraine Park, a relaxing view of the lake, watching birds and squirrels at their feet, is a rather common and welcome sight. However, for these parkgoers, topless transgender people and women could soon be added to their hashtag views when out and about in the city's parks. This is a boner saying, this is Janet talking. I don't think that I personally will take my top off or worry about being cited, just simply because that's who I am. But if men are allowed and people are comfortable with it, then there's no reason why women can't be. Hold on. I'm just going to be keeping $1.50 right now. So, no, I think there's a complete difference between seeing a woman's titties and seeing a man's pecs. 110%. And I'm sorry, if you think that there's no difference, I think you're blind, because there's biologically a difference. Some girls got some big titties. Some girls don't. Some guys got some big-ass man titties. Some guys don't. I'm not saying that people should be able to walk around topless, but they think there's a huge difference between walking around without your shirt on as a man and getting checked out versus a girl walking around with no top on and getting checked out. I think there's going to be a major difference. I can already hear the complaints, the cries, the moaning already about it. Because what happens when a guy stops and checks out your chest? Are you going to get mad? Oh, yeah. That's exactly where I'm going with that shit. As it stands, currently, a Minneapolis Park Board ordinance, PB2-21 states, no one 10 years or older is allowed to expose their genitals, pubic area, buttocks, or female breast below the top of the areola in a park or parkway. But in a push from the Park Board Commissioner, Chris Mayer, to repeal the ordinance, that could all change. I think it's never bad to look at our laws that may be bad, that may be outdated. Resident Barbara Donnie said in a post on Mayer's Facebook page, he says, only impact that would repeal is eliminating the language which targets female breasts. Currently, Minneapolis City Ordinance 385.160 allows women and transgender people to go topless on the city streets, but Park Board's ordinance prevents this from happening. And this person says, it doesn't make any sense to me that they can be on the street but can't be in the park. I think it makes plenty of sense. I don't think kids just wander on the street openly, but I know a lot of kids just hang out at the parks. So I think maybe the reason that they are allowing you to do it on the street is because you're not doing it every day, and the kids aren't just on the street. I'm sorry to say this. It's going to come down to the kids' argument for me. You're not going to change it. You're forcing sexuality on children. Whether you want to say it or not. My titties have the right to be out and free. It's sexuality, bitch. Period. That's exactly how I see it. That bitch word, that's for a man or woman. If a man wants to walk around with his dick hanging and swinging, that's sexuality. You want to hang out with your ass cheeks hanging out? That's sexuality. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Not everyone is on board with the idea of it all bearing from the waist up, though, especially when it comes to protecting children. Told y'all. It's up to parents and the kids to have the conversation about that. That's how we start breaking old thinking down. No, that's not. No, you're not going to. You're already forcing all kinds of sexualized bullshit on our children. You're not going to force it to where they have to go to the park and they have to have families leave because there's fucking titties hanging out. The person says, the fact that we are conditioned to certain things, that's part of our culture. And you can't change that. You can't change a culture quickly. It takes time. You guys got to be better with these fucking typos and shit. You're a journalist. You're fucking Care 11. How are you fucking up a typo? It takes about 2 generations minimum to change the culture, said Lyon. He went on to say, it doesn't hurt anybody, and the only people who are hurt are the people who think everybody should be like them. No. So, if I don't agree with that statement, then isn't he being hypocritical? Because isn't that what he's saying, is everybody should think like him? Everybody should be open to change? Everybody should be open to seeing titties pop every day at the park? Nah, I ain't with that shit. Sorry. And if it comes to a vote, believe you me, I will be at that booth voting if it comes out. I'm assuming it has to pass through the public. That's my grand assumption. If it doesn't have to, I pray to the good Lord above that we got decent people that are not going to let that pass. Moving on to more Minneapolis news. It's just getting worse than this. This has to do with the defunding the police in Minneapolis. And as long as it's a topic of discussion, I'm going to continue to talk about it. One of the conservative dudes that I watch on YouTube, he does music and politics too, so I really think it's kind of dope, you know. But he made it clear, as long as they're talking about defunding the police, he's going to keep showing the other side of it. What happens when you want to talk about defunding the police? Well, this is Alpha News. This is headline, never been worse. Black police officer says Minnesota leaders are failing cops. Speaking to Minnesotan state senators, Minneapolis officer Rich Walker Sr. said elected officials are actively trying to send police to prison. I would back that statement. I would definitely back that up. They definitely are. I think they're looking for any reason. I think the elected officials are looking for any reason to back up the leftist mob, to pander, to virtue signal to what they want, not realizing that leftist mob is not going to be the one that vote you back into office. You need their votes. You probably get all of them, but I don't know if you're going to get more votes than them. That's my point. Speaking to Minnesota State Senators, Minneapolis officer Rich Walker Sr. said elected officials are actively trying to send police to prison. We are put in a position right now where every Minneapolis cop feels that they are the next incident. They are scared to death to answer the calls in case something turns violent because they are actively trying to send us to prison, Walker said. Cops are scared of dying, and they are scared of going to prison. For as long as I've been alive, man, every TV show that has cops going to prison make it very clear that's going to be very bad for the cops once they get to prison. And now you literally have elected officials doing everything in their power that we can actively see. Keisha Lance Bottoms. Good example. You're gonna have the DA in Atlanta charge that officer with felony murder. Yeah, you got there. Myself personally, Keith Ellison is dragging his ass on the 4 cops in Minneapolis. Derek Chauvin should be the only one that goes to prison for actual murder. The one officer that was only on shift for 4 days, I truly believe he deserves to get off. Lose his fucking job. But if he actually was only on shift for 4 days, do you really think he was going to talk back to his CO? I don't know anybody 4 days into their job that's going to talk shit to their boss. Back to the article. Our morale has never been lower, Walker said. I think it speaks volumes for the cops who still come to this city every day and still put it all on the line. Ron Musner, a Minneapolis attorney, told Minneapolis CBS affiliate over 150 officers has started the process to file disability claims following protests over the death of George Floyd. Most saying they are suffering from PTSD. I could back that up. I have pictures of police literally sitting in the corner on the 3rd precinct, ducking, trying not to get hit by shit that the protesters were throwing up, trying to hit them. Seen Molotov cocktails fly up. I seen rocks. I seen tear gas cans get thrown back up as they were fucking going off. Oh yeah. And I remember telling a couple people I can only imagine what it felt like to be a cop, looking over the ledge of the 3rd precinct, looking down and seeing 1,500 angry citizens. Now, not every one of those people were throwing something.